وعليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Welcome again to دروس اللغة العربية لغير الناطقين بها. الدرس السادس الدرس السادس lesson number 6 السادس lesson number 6. Let's look at the objectives of this lessons. Objectives of these lessons. Objectives of these lessons. What are the objectives here? We're going to learn how to use هذه. هذه. Now watch here. We have what we called prolongation vowel here, right? Which is the alif. So it's going to be هذه. Again, this is the first time. هذه. Next time you see the هذه, the alif is not going to be written. However, by default, you have to say هذه. هذه. So هذه is one of the Arabic words that are pronounced differently from the way they are written. هذه is one of the Arabic words that are pronounced differently from the way they are written. And there are, quite a few of them. هذه is one of them. We also talked about هذا and ذلك. هذه, and that is the first objective, learning to use هذه. 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 هذه means this is. Now, usage. How do you use هذه? How do you use it? We use it for singular, animate objects. We use it for singular animate objects. And then two, we also use it for feminine animate objects. And by objects, we're talking about people, animal, and things. So by objects, what we mean, we use it for people, we use it for animals, and then we use it for things. And by feminine objects, we mean the same people, animal, and things. That is part. So before you use هذه as a demonstrative pronoun, first you have to ask yourself, is the object singular or and feminine? Very, very important. هذه. So that's what we're going to learn how to use. And the second objective is we're going to learn gender, right? We're going to learn gender nouns. That is nouns in terms of gender. And we've already said in Arabic, nouns are classified, right? Nouns are classified into males and females. Female and males. Or you can say, if you will, that is to say, masculine, or feminine. So in لغة العربية, nouns are classified or categorized into masculine and feminine. Very, very important. And also the kind of demonstrative pronoun like this, that, those are also used based on the gender of the noun. So today we're looking at هذه. So let's get started with, as always, the passage from the book. The first statement is هذا ابن. هذا ابن. Remember this alif here is called conjunctive. Conjunctive alif, meaning it connects. So when it's in the middle here, you don't read it, and there is a small sign on it. We call it little sword, like this. The sword that you know in Arabic like this is written so tiny on top of the conjunctive alif, right? Because, and this conjunctive alif is differentiated from, look down what I've circled, this alif. This is Hamzatul Qata and this is Hamzatul Wasl. So here we have to say hadhabnu, hadhab, zab. So you like zab, zab. You are not reading hadha. You have to say hadhabnu hamidin, hadhabnu hamidin. This is the son of Hamid. So hadha, 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 and what? The opposite is what? Hadhihi, hadhihi. So this is like this is for feminine, for masculine, and hadhihi is also this is for feminine, or it is, or it is. This is, this is. So what I mean is you can use it for an item like it or it. So technically or basically say other is for singular masculine objects. Hada is for singular masculine objects. And then hadihi is for singular feminine objects. So ibnu, ibnu is a son. And then bintu is a daughter. And again, remember in Lughat al-Arabiyya, bintun has two denotation. Bintu, it can be a girl or daughter. It can be a girl or daughter. Bintun. So you can say bint. So you have to say hadihi, hadihi bintun. Hadihi bintun. Hadihi bintun. This is a girl, right? That's hadihi bintun. This is a girl. It's not, this is a daughter. But if you add a relationship like Hamidun, then you have to say Hamidin, and then you raise one Dhamma here. Then it becomes Hazihi bintu Hamid. This is the daughter of Hamid. Hadhabnu, Hadhabnu Hamidin, Hadhabnu, Hadhabnu, Hadhabnu Hamidin. This is the son of Hamid. وهذه بنت ياسر. This is the daughter of Yasir. Now look at Ibnu. This is Hamzatul Wasl. Remember we said Hamzatul Wasl by default most of the time can be E, can be U, can be A. But with the words that we learned in the earlier dars, Hamzatul Ibn tends to start with E on Itmun and Ibnun. Ibnun. So even if you don't see the vowel, the default reading is E for a name like Ibnun and Ismun. So just think about that, consider that very seriously. Ismun and Ibn, they start with Hamzatul Wasl in Arabic. And Hamzatul Wasl, if it is starting a sentence like this, must be read as E, even if you don't see the vowel. But if Hamzatul Wasl is with the definite particle al, then it's read as Fatha, al. You don't say E, al. Like al-madrasa, al-madrasatu, al-madrasatu. This is Hamzatul Wasl here. Sometimes they put the South Sagira on it like this in the Quran. So you see, this is to tell you it's a marker It's a marker to tell you that this is Hamza, adjunctive Hamza, right? But if it is Hamza to wasl is with al, we say al, we don't say il. But names like Ismun, Ibnun, we read them as I. All right. So all in all, Hamza to wasl can be I, U, A, depending on the kind of noun or the kind of particle is associating with. So Ibnu Hamidin Jalisun, right? The son of Hamid is sitting. Wabintu Yasirin Waqifatun. Very, very important. So let's look at and the daughter and the daughter of Yasir is standing. Okay. So let's look at some rules with gender. Rules of gender in Arabic. Right? So first we look at adjective. So we say masculine adjective must be used with what? Masculine noun. Very, very important. Or you can say a masculine noun must move with a masculine adjective. Or you can also say complement. Right? And it's very, very important. So what are the signification, right? Significations. Let's look at the significations. The significations of feminine nouns. What are the significations? And by signification, what you can use to determine whether something is a masculine noun or a feminine noun in Arabic. That's what I mean by signification. So the first signification is what we call ta. This ta is a marker. It's a marker of feminine noun. Okay, it's a marker of a feminine noun. And this is 99.99% of the time. So the rule is not 100% because we have some names in Arabic that, end in this ta. We call it ta marbuta. Ta al marbuta. That's what they call it, ta marbuta. So this ta marbuta, I call it a secular ta, right? So it's like this normal ta, but it's round, it's circled, it's closed, or closed ta. And then the two diacritical marks are put at the top, or diacritical dots are put at the top. So it's the same thing is pronounced ta. This is ta and that is ta. But this ta is used to indicate feminine, right? Feminine quality. By feminine, I mean male, female qualities of a noun. Okay. So in Lughat al-Arabiyya too, you have to form your own feminine noun by adding what we've just discussed, the taw marbuta. So as you can see here, Ibn Hamid Jalisun, and then Wabintu Yasir Waqifatun. So this tone is telling you that the person standing is a woman. That's Bintun, daughter. And then Ibnu son is a male, so you see that it's jalisun. There's no taw marbuta at the jalis, at the end of the jalis, to indicate that, right? So we can say feminine, masculine. So if I have jalisun, the feminine is going to be what? Jalisatun. With the taw marbuta at the end. Jalisun. So you say huwa, he is. Huwa jalisun. Huwa jalisun. And then you can say here, she jalisatun. So you see that I've kind of paralleled the, this is a pronoun, she. So she is standing. So since it's she standing, I have to add the taw marbuta, jali satun, to the jalisun, to indicate that I'm talking about a she. But if I'm talking about huwa, he, I don't have to use the taw marbuta. So one of the significations of a feminine noun in Arabic is the taw marbuta at the end. If you see taw marbuta at the end of something, then you know it's a female thing or it's a feminine object. Does it make sense? And you always have to do that. Like we said, Arabic nouns are classified into that and adjectives. So if I have kabirun, then it's an indication that it's a male. Now, how do I get a female? I just add the tone to it. So I just write kabirahun. Kabirahun. Right? If I have jamilun, beautiful, that is a male. So I want to make it a female, then I have to say jamilatun. Jamilatun. That's easy as that. So you have to construct it yourself. And most of the time, you cannot find the feminine adjective in Lughat al-Arabiyya. Very few of them, they mention them, especially when they are so unique, then they will tell you. But if it is just by adding the taw marbuta, you're not going to find it. You have special feminine nouns or adjectives in the Arabic dictionaries, but if when it comes to you just adding the taw marbuta to create the feminine adjectives or noun, they're not going to find it. You're not going to find it in the dictionary. So always be careful when you are describing a noun in Arabic. First, think about it. Is it a masculine noun? If it's a masculine noun, then give the adjective a masculine quality. That is to say, let it be free or devoid of taw marbuta. But if the noun is a feminine noun, then the adjective is going to also be feminine. All right. So this is in terms of adjectives. So the first signification of Arabic gender is the addition of taw marbuta at the end. And now let's look at man hadhihi. Man hadhihi. Man hadhihi. Man hadhihi. Who is this? Now the hadhihi is telling us that we are asking about what? A feminine object. Maybe a person, it may be an animal, it may be a thing. So let's see. هذه أخت هذه هذه أخت المهندس مهندس 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 مهندسي. So we are saying this is the sister of the engineer. This is the sister of the engineer. هذه أخت. Now, أخت, we have أخ. أخ It's what? That's the opposite. The opposite of akhun is what? Ukhtun. Ukhtun. Akhun, a brother. And then ukhtun, a sister. So we say هذا أخ. هذه أخت. Sister. So you see that I'm matching appropriately. هذا for أخ because it's male or masculine. And then أخت is feminine. So I'm saying هذه. هذه أخت المهندس. Now, هي أيضا مهندسة. Let's learn the use أيضا. أيضا. This is a phrase in Arabic. It means also. Or it can mean in addition. In addition. أيضا. It depends on where you use it in the sentence. When it starts a sentence, it's like also, in addition, or furthermore. Furthermore. هي أيضا مهندسة. She an engineer too. هي أيضا is he also an engineer. لا no هي طبيبة. لا no هي طبيبة. She is an MD. I mean medical doctor. طبيبة. طبيبة. Now let's look at the grammatical information here. Again, it's doing signification. مهندس. مهندس is male. He's a male engineer. So how do you get a female? Again, by adding what? The taw marbuta. So you have to say muhandisa. Muhandi. Muhandisa. Muhandi. Muhandisatun. Muhandisatun. With my taw marbuta here. So male. And then we can have tabibun. Tabibun. And what's the female? I have to add just the taw marbuta. And then I have to say tabibatun. Tabibatun. Now observe something too very, very unique here. When you are adding the taw marbuta, what happens? Let's say the taw marbuta. One of the signification of what? Kun. Now look at it. Mu han bisun. Mu han bisun. Pay particular attention to the domain at the end. When you are adding the taw marbuta to create feminine of the muhandisun, mu han di. This time I'm going to say su. So I need to drop one of the domain here. I have to say muhandi. And then I have to say muhandisa. Look at it. So the domain here flips. The domain flips. So let me clean it so that you can. I'm going to use different color. So you can see here, right here, muhandison. Pay particular attention to the domain. So when I'm bringing in this one, taw marbuta here at the end, I'm going to change this to sa. Muhandisun, muhandisa. Then I'll put the tau marbuta. That is where the domain moves. Muhandisatun. So you can see that the vowel on the scene has become fatha here. Very, very important. You need to take notice of that. So if I have tabibun, what am I going to do? So you can see that tabi, very important. Tabi, kun. It's no more tabibu. You have to say tabiba. So we can say that the consonant at the end of the female is going to be fatha. And then after that, you add the tau marbuta. And then you get the feminine side of the noun you're looking at or the adjectives you're looking at. So it's always like that. So if I have, let's say, jalison, as we already discussed, see, jalison, this is an adjective, this is an attribute, right? It's a title. Jalison, then I'm gonna write ja li saturn. Ja li saturn. Look at it again. The sin instead of son here becomes sa. And this is a transformational skills that you need to develop. Again, you form the feminine object, right, by adding the tau marbuta. That is one of the signification process. And that's what we learn. And so you can see that muhandison, muhandisatun, jalison, jalisatun. And then this is basically by naming ibnun, bintun, masculine, feminine, jalisun, masculine, wakifatun, standing, feminine. Muhandisun is an indication of a male engineer. Muhandisatun, an indication of what? Female engineer. Tabibatun, an indication of a female medical doctor. So if I want the male, I say tabibun. Remember, you can do what we call reverse engineering. Reverse engineering in Arabic. Constructions like this. If you are giving the muhandisaton, you can reverse it and get the male part of it. And if you are giving the male part, you just add taw marbuta and then change some few vowels as indicated to get the feminine part of it. And it's always like that. So we've done, so let's do a quick recap before we look at the other parts of the dars. We have signification, gender significations, right? Gender signification, signification of gender. So signification of gender is what we call biological attribution, right? Biological attribution. That one we know, like son and then daughter, father, mother. So that one is easy, like ibnun, right? Or bintun. Ibnun or bintun. Very, very important. So that one is easy for us to do. But what about what we call complements or adjectives, right? Complements or adjectives. How do you do it? You do the change by adding taw marbuta, kon, right? Or sometimes it can be tan, or sometimes it can be tin. But it depends on the function of that noun or object within a sentence. And then the signification for is when we are dealing with titles, right? We're dealing with titles like a doctor, a nurse, or occupational titles. Occupational titles. right? Or occupations like a doctor. So if I have tabibun, since it doesn't have tawa marbuta, then it's a male. How do I get a female? By adding the ta marbuta at the end. So I get tabibatun. Tabibatun. Again, pay attention to the tabibun double dhamma. And then when you are adding the tawa marbuta to create the female, then the bun becomes ba. And then you add the taw marbuta at the end, and then you get hun. Tabibun, that is a male doctor or a male MD. And then tabibatun is what? A female MD. Remember, Arabic is always like that. You get a female, you get a male. You get female, you get a male. You got masculine, you got feminine. English sometimes that does that actor, and then they'll say actress. Very few of them. But when you come to teacher, it's teacher. It doesn't change to teacheress. But Arabic, the rule is constant. You have to be changing them. And one of the signification that's number 3, as far as occupational titles or career, or professional titles are concerned, is to add what taw marbuta to the female, right? To generate to the male, sorry, to generate the female. You add taw marbuta to the male to generate the female. And also you can reverse engineer. You can reverse engineer the taw marbuta. So if you have tabibatun, then tabibatun can be made what? Tabibun. So you reverse engineer tabibun. So this is female and this is male. All right, let's go to maybe the final part of the passage in the book. Now, we're looking at objects. We come into objects. That's gender, right? Gender of objects. In Arabic, some objects are classified as the way they are in Arabic, and there's nothing we can do about it but to learn them. The first is sayyara. For instance, sayyaratu man hadihi. Whose car is this? Whose car is this? سيارة من هذا؟ هذه. I'm sorry. سيارة من هذه? Whose car is this? So, whose car is this? So, as you can see, in English, sayara has no gender, right? But in Arabic, it has taw marbuta at the end. So the existence of this signification, the taw marbuta, tells you that sayara is classified as a feminine object. So you have to use hadihi for it. And then the answer comes, hadihi sayyaratul mudiri. This is the headmaster's car. So objects like sayyara with taw marbuta at the end is classified as what? As feminine. So we can say that all nouns of things with taw marbuta, this one at the end are classified as feminine nouns. And then we say, but there are exceptions. We're not going to talk about exceptions now. We're going to talk about them later on when we grow stronger, and we travel deeper into the language in book 1, in book 3, and book 2 later on, inshallah. All nouns of things with taw marbuta at the end are classified as feminine nouns in Arabic. So if somebody asks you like Baqarah, is Baqarah a male or female? Baqarah, remember, it's a cow, right? Is Baqarah a male or female? Now, if you are not sure, say it's a female. Why? Then you say because of the taw marbuta at the end. But like I said, there are exceptions. There are exceptions to the rule. But if you are betting your $100 on it, bet on the female. You're gonna be right 99.99% of the time. But there are exceptions to the rule. There are situations where a noun or a proper name may have taw marbuta at the end, but it's not classified as a feminine object in Lughatul Arabiyya. But for now, let's eat the rule that all nouns of things with taw marbuta at the end are classified as feminine nouns, but there are exceptions. We have exceptions to the rule. Let us move on to the other part. Man هذه. Man هذه. What is this? Man, sorry. Man هذه. What is this? ما هذه. ما هذه. What is this? هذه مكواة. مكواة, if you can see, an iron. Or some people say pressing iron. Use it to press, iron your garment, your clothes, your shirt. Mekwaton, as you can see from the picture, pressing iron. Now, if somebody asks you, Mekwaton, let's say somebody's, hey, you learn in Arabic, Mekwaton, is it a male or female? Then, because of this taw marbuta, it's a signification of what? Feminine object. So I'll say yes, it is feminine. So therefore, your pronoun demonstratively must be هذه, not هذا. So if you say هذا مكواة, هذا مكواة, you are grammatically incorrect. However, linguistically, you are correct because you are going to be understood. If you say هذا مكواة, well, your listener understands what you're trying to say, that this is an iron. Grammatically, you are incorrect. And languages have their grammar rules, so we have to obey them. So we have to say هذه مكواة. هذه مكواة. So مكوات, because of the taw marbuta at the end, is feminine. And let's look at li in Arabic. Li. Li means for. Right? Li means for. But sometimes li can introduce reason. But that's not what we're looking at here. And then the li can be added to man. Remember, man. Li man. Li man. So it's like for who? Literally, li man, for who? So here you want to know the owner, something. Li. So when you say hada li, it means this is for me. Hada li Ahmad. Hada li Ahmad. This is for the li. Hada li Ahmad. This is for Ahmad. هذا هذه سيارة. هذه سيارة. This car. لي for who? Let's say آمنة. For آمنة. هذه سيارة لي, for this car is for or belongs to. Li. You can say li can also stand for belongs to or belong to. So here the question is, liman hadhihi? Whose is this? 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 Hadhihi, hadhihi. This is li, li, hadhihi, li, hadhihi, li, Khalidin. This is for Khalid. هذه لخالد. This is for Khalid. So لخالد. This is for Khalid. Very important. دراجة. دراجة. A bicycle. No, it's a bicycle and now for a now female or a now male. دراجة. I can say it's a masculine or it's a feminine. It's a female thing. Why? Because of the Tau Marbuta. So here I can say for sure. So the Raja is a bicycle, as you can see here. The Raja. The Raja to Anasin Hadihi. Remember, is for questioning or is for interrogation. Is this Anas bicycle? La. No. هذه دراجة أمار. This bicycle belongs to Ammar. هذه جديدة. Look at the Tau Marbuta here. Because you are describing the daraja. So you have to say هذه جديدة. So جديد in Arabic means new. As we have encountered, جديد is new. So without the Tau Marbuta, we can say it's an adjective used for masculine objects. Now, what about adjectives that we can use to describe a feminine object? With the jadid, we have to say jadidatun. 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 So this is feminine. So you want to say a new bicycle. A new bicycle. So you have to say daraja, sorry. Daraja. Darajatun jadidatun. Darajatun jadidatun. Now remember again, in Arabic, we arrange a noun and the adjective differently. You see that in English, the adjective comes first here. A new bicycle. This is the adjective, and this is the noun. And we are using the adjective or the adjective or the modifier to talk about the noun. Now, the arrangement in Lughat al-Arabiyya is different. The bicycle comes first, followed by the adjective. Darajatun jadida, a bicycle new. Literally, darajatun jadidatun, a bicycle new. So this is another area that you need to try and master. Don't repeat the adjectival arrangement of English in Arabic. It's going to sound so funny. Anyway. So again, we're learning antonyms, an opposite of something. So if something is jadidun, it's new. So it's new. So what's the opposite? Old. And what is old in Arabic? We say qadimun. Qadimun. Something that is qadimun is old. Now you can see this is male and this is male. What about female? I say jadidatun. Jadidatun. And then qadimatun. قديمة. جديدة. قديمة. So this is female or feminine, and this is feminine. Now, look at the difference. جديد transformed, and it has تاء مربوطة at the end. قديم transformed, it has تاء مربوطة at the end. And that is how we do it. Now, ودراجة, let's continue here. ودراجة أنس قديمة. The bicycle of Anas is old. It's old. هذه ساعة علي. هذه ساعة. Remember ساعة. ساعة has تاء مربوطة. It's a noun. So technically, it's a female. Now, a watch, as you can see, doesn't have a male watch or a female watch. We don't have a watch that is a female, and then we have a watch that is a male. But in Arabic, the word sa'atun ends in a watch, ends in taw marbuta. So therefore, technically, it has feminine property. So we say hadihi sa'atu ali. Here, it is jamilatun, jiddan, 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 very much. Jiddan can be very much or very. Jiddan, very much. Jiddan, jamila to jiddan is very beautiful. So it can be very much or very. Jamila. Why are we saying the sa'a is jamilatun? Because the sa'atun is a female or feminine object. So we have to use jamilatun, which is very appropriate. But if you say sa'atun, jamilun, jamilun, you are incorrect grammatically, but linguistically, you are correct. That is to say, linguistically, you can be understood, right? Let's say I'm walking in the street of Cairo and I say, hey, Sa'atun Jamilun, Sa'atun Jamilun. They will understand me, and they will also know that this person is speaking without any attention to grammar. So my statement is understood. So, but in terms of grammar, I'm wrong. Why? Because the Sa'atun is a feminine object. So the Jamil must also be feminine. So I have to say Sa'atun Jamilatun. Then I make the La, and then I put Taw Marbuta at the end. Then I'm going to have Sa'atun Jamilatun. I don't have to say Sa'atun Jamilun. Right? So for instance, I'm going to say Ibnun Jamilun. Ibnun Jamilun. And then I have to say Bintun Jamilatun. Bintun Jamilatun. See, a beautiful son and then a beautiful daughter. So you can see that the Bintun is a daughter. So I have to say Jamilatun. So I have feminine noun, and then I have feminine adjective, and then I have feminine noun here, and then I qualify it with what? Feminine adjective. So it's always like that. هذه ملعقة. ملعقة is a spoon. Now, as you can see, ملعقة has تاء مربوطة at the end. So it's considered what? Fem. It's a feminine object. So you have to say هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر. قدر is a pot. قدر is a pot. So you can see that وهذه قدر. قدر doesn't have any تاء مربوطة at the end, but it's considered, it's classified as feminine from the Arabic perspective because it's used to cook something warm. ملعقة في القدر. P means what? In. So الملعقة في القدر. The spoon the spoon is in the qidr, in the pot. The spoon is in the pot. الملعقة في القدر. Right? الملعقة في القدر. The spoon is in the pot. هذه ملعقة وهذه قدر. So قدر is هذه. So it's male object. Even though it doesn't have a signification of تاء مربوطة, the Arabs are saying, hey, that is our female object. Okay, so classify that is as it is. So let's move on to the other part of the lesson. Then let's look at al-Baqarah. Baqaraton is a pillow, as you can see. Baqarah. When the word Baqarah in Arabic, we tend to use it to represent a male, female, but some language dispute this, but most of the time we're going to have Baqarah with the taw marbuta at the end. Baqaratun. 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 That is a cow. She. So it's a feminine object. So we say هذه بقرة الفلاح. فلاح. فلاح with a shadda. فلاح. فلاح, a farmer. So we are advised by our grammarians not to say falahun. Falahun. Falahun can be prosperity or success or growth or felicity. Felicity. Anything that is good is falah. With no shadda. Falahun, a farmer. And this is what we use in the call to prayer. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Falah means come to prosperity, come to success, come to growth, come to felicity, come to blissful life in the masjid. Falahun with a shadda means a farmer. So if you say hayya ala al-falah means come to the farmer. No, we don't want that. Anyway. So فلاح is a farmer. هذه بقرة الفلاح. This is the farmer's cow. This is the farmer's cow. This is the farmer's cow. هذا أنف. هذا أنف وهذا فم. Now, I think this is going to be the fourth signification. Body parts. Body parts. Okay, so we're going to say that body parts are classified into masculine and feminine. That is male and female. So in Arabic, body parts are classified into that. So first, we have what we call hair or double parts, double body parts. Any feminine, they are feminine. So any pair or double body parts are feminine in Arabic. So like your hand, right? You have two. And then you have two. And then you have your foot, you have two. Leg, you have two. Ears, you have two. So these are things. So they are considered feminine objects. So you have to use hadha for hadhi for them, right? You have to use hadhi the for them. You don't have to use هذا. So that is the rule, pair body parts. And then the the, we're going to say non-pair or single body parts. Single body parts are masculine. That's the rule. Single body parts are masculine, like your head, right? Head. Single body parts are masculine, like your head, right? EG. Let's look at EG. Examples, head. You have one head, you don't have two, right? Nostril. Nostril, you got one. But remember, lips, we have two lips, upper and the lower lips. So lips is going to be considered as feminine object. And let's say stomach. Stomach. One. Have one stomach. Right? So anything that is one or single is considered as masculine, and the pair or the doubles are pairs or double are considered what? Feminine. So as you can see, amphon is your nose. Remember, we are not talking about your nostrils. The nostril, we have two nostrils, but you have one amph. So we say هذا. This is a nose. هذا أنف. This is a nose. وهذا فم. فم is a mouth. This is a mouth, or this is the mouth. So this is the mouth, as you can see here. So he's not talking about the lips, but he's talking about the mouth. So the use of هذا is appropriate. Why? Because you have one mouth, but you have two lips. Right. So I'm yet to see a human being with. Now let's look at أذن. He uses هذه, which is correct. هذه أذن. Why? Because أذن is a pair. You have two. You have two ears. So anything that is pair or double is feminine. هذه أذن وهذه عين. Look at عين, an eye. How many eyes do you have? Two. So therefore, in Arabic, it's giving feminine quality. هذه عين. This is an eye. So here we are also learning some few body parts. أذن. We've started with فم, mouth, and then we have أذن. أذن. That is ear, your أذن. And then we have عين. We have عين. That is your eye. Now remember, this is one, this is two, this is two. We are talking about the count, the body parts. How many do you have? Right? And then we have yadun. Yadun, you have two yadun. And so we have to say wahadihi yadun. And this is wahadihi yadun. This is a pen. Wahadihi rijlun. Rijlun, this is rijlun. Rijlun. Rijlun is your leg. Rijlun, your leg. You have two legs. Rijlun. Don't confuse rijlun with rajulun. Rajulun. Rajulun is a man. And rijlun is leg. But if you look at the consonant composition or the letter composition, they are the same. Ra, jim, la. But the vowel composition is different. Ri, ra, rijlun, rajulun. Rijlun is your leg. So you have 2 legs. Okay? You don't have 1 leg. So since they are 2, we give them, or we classify them as feminine objects. So we say هذه رجل وهذا يد. So that is it for today. Recap. We focus a lot on what gender, right? We looked at feminine nouns in Arabic, and then we look at what? The masculine nouns. And then we look at the significations. What signify, right? We look at the significations of gender. What do we use in Arabic to signify that something is a male or something is a female, or something is masculine or something is feminine? We first said taw marbuta, right? Like kun or tan or tin. When you have this at the end of a noun, then it tells you that you are dealing with feminine objects. If they are devoid, then that thing is a male. Example, but some nouns in Arabic, they come with taw marbuta automatically. But there are some that you have to form, especially what we said, professional titles, right? Like you have tabibun, that is a male. And then you want to get a female, you add a taw marbuta, then you get tabibatun. That's a professional titles. And then we also look at adjectives, right? If somebody is jalison, that's a male. The female is going to be what? Jalisatun. We also look at that. So we look at professional titles and adjectives. And then we also look at just pure items, right? Basic items. So we also look at free, let's say pure nouns, like tayyara, and then sa'a, and then mekwat, and then we have kidrun. Now, these are all what? Feminine nouns. Now, this one has sa'a, sayyara, mekwatun. They have taw marbuta at the end, but kidrun doesn't have taw marbuta. But the Arabs classify kidrun as having what? Female property. So you have to say hazihi kidrun, right? Now, so these are pure nouns. So you just have to learn them. There is no any formula here. And then we have 4 body parts, right? Body parts. With the body parts, we say we have pair, the pairs, and then we have the singles. The pairs are feminine, and then the singles are what? Masculine. And these are the rules that you need to understand as you read this passage. Inshallah, we're going to discuss more as we go through the lesson point. Thank you for your time. Dumtum bi khair. Assalamu alaikum.